About another crucial set of discussions that is taking place as France's relations with the United States take an uncertain turn. French President Emmanuel Macron called up Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and discussed Indo-Pacific cooperation between the two sides. According to a press release issued by the French government, the two leaders reaffirmed their common will to act jointly in an open and inclusive Indo-Pacific area. Within the framework of the Euro-Indian relationship, France said that this approach aims to promote regional stability and the rule of law, while ruling out any form of hegemony. During the phone call, Macron recalled France's commitment to contribute to strengthening India's strategic autonomy, including its industrial and technological base. All of this within the framework of a close relationship, the one based on trust and mutual respect between two strategic partners. Prime Minister Modi has also tweeted about the talks, where he said, "Spoke with my friend President Emmanuel Macron on the situation in Afghanistan. We also discussed closer collaboration between India and France in the Indo-Pacific. We place great value on our strategic partnership with France, including in the UN Security Council." The India-France talks coming at an interesting time. France is currently locked in a diplomatic tussle with the US, Australia and the UK over the AUKUS deal. The AUKUS agreement is a strategic trilateral between the three countries, where the US will be providing 8 nuclear-powered submarines to Australia in a bid to strengthen their naval power in the Indo-Pacific and to counter China's growing influence. Just a few hours before the AUKUS was announced, Australia cancelled a multi-billion-dollar submarine deal with France, resulting in anger and frustration from Paris. France even called this deal a stab in the back and said that Australia will be regretting its move. Apart from the Indo-Pacific, Modi and Macron also discussed other pressing global issues like the situation in Afghanistan, a looming global terror threat with the Taliban in power there. The two leaders also agreed to hold regular discussions on climate change and to continue their joint actions against the COVID-19 pandemic. During the talks, France also welcomed India's decision to resume its vaccine deliveries to the United Nations COVAX program. And going back across to our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who has been getting us a better sense of where these talks are, the sense that we're getting in of these talks, the significance in the backdrop of the AUKUS deal as well, and that tweet that's now been put out by the Indian Prime Minister, Siddhant, talking about the great value that India attaches to its partnership with France, specifically in the United Nations Security Council as well.
Well, yes, of course, India and France have a multifaceted relationship in which almost in every sector there is collaboration. But talking about this conversation coming in the backdrop of the AUKUS pact, the readouts have been issued by the French side and the Indian side. There is, of course, no mention of the AUKUS in the readout, but there is mention on two major things. One, of course, collaboration on Indo-Pacific, another on Afghanistan. Now, comments on Afghanistan and, of course, Indo-Pacific show that both countries continue to engage with each other. And when it comes to France's engagement in Indo-Pacific, that has not changed, because there were fears that that might see a change, given the fact that this came as a surprise and a shock to President Macron. But nonetheless, when it comes to the engagement between New Delhi and Paris, it continues. This is the second time that there has been a conversation, both at the heads of level, but last few days saw the telephonic conversation between the Indian External Affairs Minister and the French Foreign Minister. And later today, both the leaders, both the foreign ministers, will be having this in-person meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA in New York. So undoubtedly, India-France relationship is something that is stable. This is a relationship in which both countries have invested on, especially when it comes to defense partnership, and it will continue to grow.
Siddhant Sibal, thanks very much for that update. We'll, of course, keep a close eye on those discussions that will be taking place. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.